If you have no money, sometimes the children will die. So that's...
So unless you can buy the medicine,
Yeah,
it's quite
yeah.
possible that children will die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We try to do our best.
That's a very, very difficult situation.
This is my house. My wife. This is my children, yeah. And the other two was outside.
Hello, what's his name?
She's Junior, Eduardo Junior.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
Because
very nice.
he's the only boy.
All around here, the one thing that strikes me, there is very romantic music playing. Are you both romantic? The two of you? Are you romantic people?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Because we have no almost 6 children if they are romantic.
Teresita, what happened when your last baby was born?
There was a really bad storm that night, and then we were here in the house, and then I was holding the baby and rocking her, and the storm was raging, and the other children were squashed here beside us, so the rain wouldn't get to them. You see, it gets flooded here. We've never had the money to fix the roof. It leaks all the time. I was worried that if they got wet, they'd get sick, like my other children who died. See, my eldest was 4 years old when he got sick. He got sick here in this house. I didn't know what to do. You see, living here in these filthy conditions, the smoke and everything, he got really bad diarrhea. Well, it killed him. That time, they were demolishing the houses here. It must have been 1982, yes, 82, when the demolitions happened. I had a row with the demolition men. I pleaded, please, wait until I buried my child before you demolish my house. Can you imagine? You have a dead boy in your house and they want to demolish it.
Elizabeth died from malnutrition because they have a worm get outside of her mouth.
She had worms that came out of her mouth and everything.
So they bring them to the hospital because on that time, I'm in my work. So when I go to the hospital, I saw that my baby was dead already.
We did calculations to show how many children in the Philippines die because of the way the debt crisis has been managed. And we calculated how much the health budget had been cut. And on the basis of that, came up with a figure that 1 Filipino child dies every hour because of the increase in debt service payments.
Debt to most people seems to be a matter for the financial pages, for the banks and the governments. But in fact, debt has been, in the past decade, the largest new contributing factor to hunger and to misery.
The Philippines spends almost half its national budget paying just the interest on debt owed to foreign banks. These are homeless children on the streets of Manila But they could be anywhere in the indebted world. Here, the problem of homelessness has become so serious that this police unit does nothing but round up children and try to find institutions that will take them. But they are few, and most of the children come back to the streets. Lieutenant Siochi and his men run their unit partly out of their own pockets. All of them have to moonlight as taxi drivers and ice cream vendors, but these jobs are increasingly rare. The National Economic Development Authority estimated that as a result of IMF policies, 500,000 workers will lose their jobs in the Philippines this year. That means more children on the streets.
Where do these children come from, the children that we've seen on the streets?
Some of them come from the provinces and very low-income families here in Manila.
So they come to Manila with their families?
Yes, yes. And they found that Manila is not a heaven as they think.
Yeah.
Not now. Before, they can get easy jobs here. But now, no more.
The children that are sleeping alone, have they lost contact with their families?
Most of them, their parents have abandoned them already because of these hardships. They cannot feed them anymore.
Are they very vulnerable to drugs?
Some of them.
I noticed some of them looked like they had been using drugs.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
And prostitution?
They're as we call them, walking doll.
Walking dolls?
Yeah, because they are already prostitutes. Some of them are sick and hungry. But once we brought them to this non-governmental institution like the centers, no? We brought them there. Those social workers take care of them. And we find it heartening. The government is bankrupt. The government is even paying for international debts obtained by the last administration of Marcos.
So you're saying that's the pressure on the society when the government has to pay so much. If
Yeah.
resources are going one way and it hasn't any money left to do something about the homelessness.
Yes, we are supposed to pay from the International Monetary Fund. Too many debts.
This 15-day-old baby was born on the streets.